anti-lockdown Stanford professor. Academic freedom is dead. Oh, wow. It took you like 10 years, but you finally noticed, huh? And I would have a lot more sympathy for these professors if they weren't sitting by silently while the woke just cannibalized their entire profession. Because while the woke were still getting started, when the movement was small enough that it could have been stopped, it could have been nipped in the bud, all these dickless cucks like, well, I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to risk my job. Well, now you're going to lose it. And that's why I'm just going to tell you right now, if you are in a place that's being infested by woke regressivism, you're going to lose your spot there, regardless, whether it's sooner or later. So you really only have two choices. You could fight while you still can, while the infestation is small enough that you still outnumber them and you can still fight them. Worst comes to worst, it's like cutting off an infected arm to save the rest of the body. You might have to make some sacrifices, but it's worth it if you get rid of them. If you're not willing to do that, then your only other smart option is to immediately start looking for another job. Like, seriously, just write that place off as a loss and immediately start up the job hunt. So by the time it gets infested, it's not going to be your problem anymore. Actually, we saw that like with PlayStation. As soon as the American branch took over Sony, remember how many resignations there were across all branches? Not even just Japan, but also in America and the European branches. A lot of people were quitting because they saw the horrible direction that company was going to go. And they didn't want their names tarnished by being associated with it. And it worked. Like, those guys can say, oh, yeah, I'm one of the people that saw that Sony was circling the drain and I bailed early because they weren't listening to me. Anyway, a Stanford professor who challenged the orthodoxy of lockdowns has warned that academic freedom is dead and that all those who have stood up to the regime narrative now face a deeply hostile work environment. Yeah, it took you long enough to notice. So Dr. J. Bhattacharya, the author of the Great Barrington Declaration, in which thousands of scientists called for a policy of herd immunity over lockdowns, warned that when you take a position that is at odds with the scientific clarity, your life becomes a living hell. And then once they're proven wrong, they're just going to want amnesty. Oh, let's just forgive and forget. Oh, mistakes were made on both sides. No. You don't get to play that shit here. Your side is the evil one that ruined lives. Well, we were just resisting you. No, you can't play the both sides game here. No. You're the bad guys, 100%. Now, speaking at the Academic Freedom Conference in Stanford's Graduate School of Business recently, Bhattacharya, who had previously described the lockdown as the most catastrophically harmful policy in all of history. Yeah, a lot of the economic issues we're facing right now is because of this. You can't just lock down half the world for 2 years and not pay the price for it. And the single worst public health mistake in the last 100 years, noted we have a high clerisy that declares from on high what is true and what is not true. Yeah? If you go against the ruling ideology, you're fucked. In a further interview with Fox News, Bhattacharya noted basic premise is that if you don't have protection and academic freedom in the hard cases, when a faculty member has an idea that's unpopular among some of the other faculty, powerful faculty, even administration, if they don't protect it in that case, you don't have academic freedom at all. Yeah. Now, remember this for when the pendulum swings back. Remember how you were willing to protect them and their right to speak? They do not reciprocate. So I say this. Don't respect the rights of others when they don't respect those same rights in you. Like, so for example, if someone is all about listen and believe, when they get accused, listen and believe their accuser. When people who tried to shut you down and get you fired and just get you deplatformed and canceled, when they're begging for your help in the future, when the pendulum swings, just slam the door in their face. Like, nope, I remember how you treated me when you had power over me. I am not going to lift a fucking finger to help you. I'm not going to be as bad as you. I'm not going to go out and hurt you, but I sure as fuck am not going to help you. Bhattacharya and thousands of other academics and scientists that were initially vilified for damning lockdowns, but have since been vindicated as the side of medical toll of the shutdowns has been revealed. Yup, and they're owed their fucking pound of flesh now. The Bhattacharya said of the declaration, the purpose of the one-page document was aimed at telling the public that there was not a scientific consensus in favor of a lockdown, and that, in fact, many epidemiologists, many doctors, many other people, prominent people, disagreed with the consensus. The professor then described how the proponents of the declaration were systematically frozen out of discussions and debates. Now, that's when you return the favor. Remember who these people were that did this? And freeze them out of future discussions and debates. If Stanford really, truly were committed to academic freedom, they would have worked to make sure that there were debates and discussions, seminars where those ideas were discussed among faculty here, adding that power replaced the idea of truth as a guiding light. Now this right here, you want to know why this was so easy? It's because the far left have spun it that if you agree with them, like that's just being a decent person. If you disagree with them, you're obviously a racist Nazi science denier, because only racist Nazi science deniers would have the opposite opinion. Oh, I'm anti-racist, so if you disagree with me, you must be racist. Oh, I love the science, so if you disagree with me, you must be a science denier. That's how they spun it. They are objectively good, you are objectively evil, and the next logical step from there is, why should we allow evil a voice? Why should we discuss things with evil? Why are we even entertaining evil? That's what they did. And in doing so, they actually revealed who the real evil is, though. So now we could play the same thing back to them. Like, no, you were all in support of shutting us out, so now we're just going to do the same to you. Reap what you've sown, motherfucker. I don't want to hear any bitching. So you have someone like Tony Fraudchi, who says unironically that if you question me, you're not simply questioning a man, you're questioning science itself. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that is an exercise of raw power where he places himself effectively as the Pope of science rather than a genuine desire to learn the truth. That's exactly what it was. That's why they did what I just said. That's why they had to reframe the discussion of, instead of two opposing opinions, it was a matter of good versus evil. That's why they do this. Once they label you as evil, they are justified in shutting you out of everything because, I mean, you're evil. Like who cares about a Nazi's opinion? They systematically tried to make it seem like everyone agreed with their ideas about Corona chain, when in fact there was a deep disagreement among scientists and epidemiologists about the right strategy. Bhattacharya also called on the new Twitter owner Elon Musk to expose the government censorship regime. That's a good point. The more I learn, the worse it gets. The world should know the truth of what has been happening at Twitter. Transparency earned the trust of the people. He's right. I can't wait until once those docs start dropping. Oh man, we'll be laughing our asses off here. The single most important step that Twitter could take to promote free speech is to release all the correspondence between Twitter censors and government officials the past 3 years. Expose the government censorship regime. Yes, agreed. Fucking love it.